All right, it's here. OpenAI's latest model, GPT-5, has just dropped, and the early reports are, well, they're pretty wild. We're hearing about a totally new architecture, a massive jump in its ability to code, and a huge cut in those weird AI hallucinations. But is it all hype? Let's find out.
So what's the big deal? What can GPT-5 actually do that no AI has ever been able to do before? Because let me tell you, this is not just some minor update. We are looking at a fundamental shift in how this AI actually operates, thinks, and creates.
And you have to understand the ambition here it's massive. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is framing this as a huge leap towards artificial general intelligence, or AGI. That's the dream of an AI that can understand, learn, and apply knowledge just like a human can. So keeping that in mind is going to be key as we dive into these changes.
So what's powering this thing? How did they pull this off? Well, the real magic isn't just that they built a bigger model. No, they've designed a completely new kind of architecture. You can almost think of it as an entirely new kind of brain.
And this is the secret sauce, a unified intelligence system. See, unlike older versions, GPT-5 isn't just one single thing. It's more like an intelligent team of specialized AI models. You've got a super fast, efficient model for the easy questions, and then you have this deep, powerful thinking model for when you throw a really complex problem at it.
So here's how that whole team works together. Something called a smart router acts like a traffic cop for your requests. The second you ask it something, it analyzes how complex your question is and sends it to the right model for the job. It's kind of like how your own brain decides between a quick reflex and a much deeper, more considered thought. It's this dual system that makes GPT-5 feel both incredibly fast and incredibly powerful at the same time.
Okay, so the new engine sounds amazing on paper, right? But how does it actually perform when the rubber meets the road? We're going to put it through the ultimate skills test. We're going to push this thing to its limits, focusing on three areas that have always been a huge challenge for AI: coding, accuracy, and safety.
First up, coding. And honestly, the improvement here is just staggering. We're looking at the SWE bench, which is a really tough benchmark that uses real-world software engineering problems. GPT-4o scored around 55%. GPT-5, it jumps to nearly 75%. That is not just an improvement, that is a quantum leap.
This incredible new coding skill has actually created a whole new concept that people are calling vibe coding. Yeah, you heard that right. It's not just about asking for a little piece of code anymore. Now you can describe the overall vibe of an app you want, and GPT-5 can actually build it. OpenAI even showed a demo where they created a working language learning app from just a single sentence. Think about that. It could completely change how we build software.
But, all that power doesn't mean much if you can't trust the answers, right? One of the biggest problems with AI has always been its tendency to hallucinate, when it just confidently makes stuff up. Well, GPT-5 tackles this problem head-on. It's cut down those instances by a whopping 65%. That makes it a way more reliable source of information.
And that commitment to being more reliable, it also applies to safety. GPT-5 has this new way of handling tricky questions, and they call it safe completions. Before, if you asked something that was even a little bit borderline, you just get a hard, "I can't help with that." Now, GPT-5 actually tries to give you helpful, safe context, instead of just shutting the conversation down.
Okay, the raw power and accuracy are obviously off the charts. But what about for the rest of us? How does it actually feel to use this thing day in and day out? Let's take a look at the brand new tools and features that are changing the whole experience.
Well, your AI toolkit just got a major upgrade. We're talking about things like Canvas mode, where you can actually build your own interactive apps right inside the chat. You can give it custom personalities. You want a cynic, a listener, a robot? You got it. Plus, it can now plug directly into your Google and SharePoint data. And hey, you can even customize the colors for a more personal vibe.
Let's zoom in on Canvas mode for a sec, because this could be a total game changer, especially if you're not a coder. Just imagine building a custom calculator for your business or a live dashboard just by describing what you want it to do in plain English. No code needed. That's what Canvas mode promises.
But what about its creative side, its personality? Well, this is where it gets really interesting, because there seems to be a bit of a debate. Some reviewers are saying it's way more direct and to the point, but others are describing its writing as more literary, more resonant. It suggests maybe a more complex, less uniformly chatty AI than what we're used to.
All right, we've looked at the engine, we've tested its skills, we've seen the new user experience. So, what's the final verdict here? Does GPT-5 really live up to all this hype? Is it a revolution?
When you put it all side by side, the picture becomes crystal clear. It's a huge upgrade across the board. You go from a single model to a unified system. The coding score is a night and day difference. The hallucination rate is way down. And look at that context window. That's the AI's short-term memory. It's more than tripled. This isn't just a step up. Its advanced reasoning puts it in a whole new league.
And that really gets to the heart of it all. I think this quote just nails the shift in what's happening. We're moving away from just using an AI as a simple tool, and we're moving towards collaborating with it as a genuine, capable partner that can reason and create right alongside us. Hey, if this explainer helped you get your head around the huge leap to GPT-5, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. We do deep dives like this all the time on the tech that's changing our world.
But before you go, I've got a question for you. We've talked about vibe coding, that new smart router, the game-changing canvas mode. Out of everything we covered, which new feature in GPT-5 surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think.